The bottom one with the key opens the cargo doors. The top one opens the passenger and driver door, and the middle one locks all of the doors. So let's open the cargo door here. This has a loading height of 21 inches. And for me, with my damaged knees, I need to use some type of step mechanism in order to get in easily. They also supply a step stool for the very same reason. The entire van is approximately 18 feet long. It's 9 feet high, and it has a 136-inch wheelbase. So I will use my cooler to get inside. And immediately you'll see this jump seat. Now, I noticed on some of the YouTube videos, some of the more modern looking ones actually have a seat belt for this seat, even though this van is rated for 2 passengers and 2 sleeping occupants. So I'm not sure, other than to have a place to relax and sit down, why that's there. Or if you were to pick up someone, that would be handy too. However, in this version, where the seat belts would normally go, which is right here, there's nothing there. They've been removed. And likewise, the other part of the seat belt would be over there. But this is a very comfortable jump seat. And if you look inside, you'll see the step stool, which is here. And they also include a trash can, fire extinguisher, and a whisk broom and dustpan. So that's very handy. They've done a good job in putting these together. And mind you, this is a basic setup. It's not the fancy schmancy type of RV where the cabinets look better than what you have in your home and a lot of varnish and shininess. This is a good basic camper van, and that's what I like about it. If I could buy this from them, I would probably do that. So I'm going to jump up here on my cooler and get inside, and we'll start with the kitchen area here. As you can see, there is a sink, and they supplied the dishwashing solution as well as a brush to scrub the plates. Now, I forgot to bring the plates, but they give you pots, pans, glasses, or rather metal glasses, and everything you would need to jump off a plane at the airport, go to their place and pick up the van. This is an electric pump fed water spigot. This is the stove here. It's a 2-burner stove. This is to avoid any grease coming out. This opens up like this. So you're all set to go. And this has all been cleaned up when you pick up the van. And this sort of artistic backdrop there, I assume is for show, but this is the shelf area. Where the dishes go, this is a nice handy little place here. It has these borders so that things won't fall out. So that's another handy storage place. So you can see the glasses fit in here, and pots and pans and so forth here. They have this sort of unique lattice work here which comes in handy. They also supply this dishcloth as well. And there's plenty of counter space here. If you open the cabinets on this side, this is, let's see, this would be the intake. No, this is the gray water tank. This is the intake or clean water tank here. So that goes up into the faucet here, and then the gray water comes down on that side. On this side, the gas or propane containers and the tube to hook them up to the stove. That gives you 2 drawers now for food items that are non-perishable, other utensils, or even just clothing or anything you want to use them for. There's another one down here at the bottom. And they sort of lock in place so they don't go bouncing around when you're out on the road. Now, one thing I had to get used to, I couldn't open this drawer here. And I tried. I pulled and pulled and pulled. And finally, I accidentally pushed in, and what happened? The drawer came out. Inside that drawer are cooking utensils, which are supplied in the basic fee. Everything here is basic fee because I had my own equipment, so I only took what they had put in, and it was too much of a pain. Also in this drawer, because I couldn't find this at first, right over here is the remote control for the ceiling fan, which is sort of unique as well. Down here is the refrigerator. And the control for the refrigerator is right over here. And it's on 0 because I did not use it, did not need it, because I had my trusty cooler. And this actually can ice up here in the freezer portion. And you can see there's adequate space here for the items that must be kept cold. Now, over here is something interesting. This controls the lights. And the one thing to recall here is that these lights are dimmable. So if I turn this on, you'll see the light up here. Then the dimmable switch is right next to it, right here, which I didn't see at first. Also, this button, once pushed, will start the pump to bring in the clean water to the faucet. This is an extra 12-volt cigarette lighter type device. This tells you how much of your deep cycle battery is being used. This fan has a solar mechanism on the roof which powers the accessory battery. So all these lights in here are run off of the accessory battery so that you don't drain the main battery. In order to use these outlets here, 12, this is a 120 volt, then you have a USB port and some other kind of port. All that you do is push this button, and then you are using the auxiliary battery. This should always be showing at least 12.5, and we're showing 14.3. We are in the sun. The battery is fully charged. Then in the back here is the bed. And I can tell you, this is a very comfortable bed. It has this rumple cover. They give you the 2 pillows. Everything is cleaned between trips. Those boxes in the back are to put your nighttime devices in, like your cell phone and keys and bear spray or anything like that. Also, the ceiling fan is up there. And this is neat because not only is the cover operated automatically, but it also has a rain sensor. So if it starts to rain and you're asleep, it will automatically close. And it's a 2-way fan such that it will either suck air in or take it out of the cabin, which is good when you're trying to keep cool, or you want to have that top open in order to make sure there's no buildup of toxic fumes. Those are speakers in the back there. And again, they designed this area with these slats. And I found them useful in that I have had a lantern that had a hook type handle, and I could fit it right in here, and also have a large central area of light right here in the cab. Also, in terms of storage under the bed, again, I did know how to do this. Oops, see, I left something in the drawer that I need to take out. Another big drawer for clothes and other items, and another large drawer. So it's very convenient for 2 people. Well, let's see, what else? This is the tip. Oh, there's storage space up here in the cabin area. And up here they place all of the window coverings, so that at night you can essentially have all of the windows covered for privacy. The one thing that I left out is the covering for that window, which I'll show in a second. Also up here in the cab, there's also storage space. And this is the typical Dodge Ram ProMaster setup here. It does have the backup camera. It does have a way to play your music. It does have cruise control. It does have the automatic mirrors, which you can see over here. These will move your mirrors back and forth. These will adjust the mirrors. These are the door locks, and these lock everything. Lots of little cubby holes up here, down there, and then that deep storage area down there. Also, it has that footrest down there for the long trips. Plenty of cup holders here. A glove box up here, and interestingly enough, they put a Bluetooth speaker in here with the cables. So I thought that was a cute bonus. A tray here for accessories. And down here, their logo on the baseboard. Let's see, what have I forgotten? Oh, the cabin lights. They have a nice warm cabin light over here. So you turn that on and the cabin lights up. This is the window that I was talking about on the inside. If you take this latch here, pull it down, you can slide this and open the window for ventilation. This is the screen. In fact, I feel some cooler air coming in presently. And it's very well tinted, as you could see when I did the walk around on the outside. So what happens at night? You want to further decrease visibility inside. They have this drape here that's held up with Velcro during the daytime, and then when you release it, it falls down, and they have some magnets in here to make it attach to the bottom. So again, they have done a good job with a good basic van conversion for people who are out to have fun and just need the standard types of things for a long trip or a weekend. Another thing is the carbon monoxide detector, which is in this location and is properly placed closer to the floor. One other thing I wanted to note, it's hard for me to get in. Some, youngsters can just jump on in here, but not only do they have a grab handle on the A-pillar here, but they also have one up here so that those of us who have trouble getting in can grab both of the grab handles and easily hoist ourselves up into the vehicle. And I think I mentioned that it has the backup camera also, which is a necessity with a vehicle like this where there are no windows in the back. So this is really a neat setup. One other thing is that I saw this box under the passenger seat right here, and I wasn't sure what this was. I thought it was maybe something that had to do with the seat or the swiveling. I forgot to mention this seat will swivel around 180 degrees so that when you're eating, you can have this seat here facing the center. And I forgot to mention one other thing which I didn't use because I couldn't find it initially, is the table, which is right here. So there's a table that you can set up inside. Armrests, and these are adjustable armrests. There's a little roller thing under here that will allow you to adjust the height of the armrest. Again, something that's comfortable for those long trips. So I said, what is that thing? So I decided to take a look today, and I'm glad I did, because if you yank on this thing, and press the lever here, see if I can do it with one hand. Better take two hands. This turns out to be the jack and the instructions on how to jack up this vehicle for changing the tire. The tire is located under the vehicle, so it has one of those crank things to lower the tire. And then this is your kit. Thank goodness I didn't have any trouble, because I certainly didn't know where that was at the time. But I guess this is standard for this type of vehicle. All the floors have these rubber floor mats, so they're easy to clean, and if there's a spill, that can be taken care of as well. There's a upper glove box, which I showed you up here where the Bluetooth device is, and then this tray, nice and handy, and then a lower glove box. When you pick up the vehicle, these things will be in it. This is their little manual on how to operate things in the van. It's sort of basic, but it'll get you through things, and that's one thing I didn't do, was read those instructions, or at least not all of them, and that's why I missed out on using a lot of the things here. And then they have a quick reference guide from the ProMaster folks. They give you a journal to record your experiences. I didn't need that, but I thought that was a cute addition. And let's see, they gave you this little sack, which I didn't open until the end of my trip. But it's good for you to know that this has a tire pressure gauge, and it has the registration and the insurance card for the company. They also give you these extra fuses in case there is an issue. So again, I learned a whole lot after my trip than before, because I don't need a lot of fancy stuff to survive, so it never occurred to me. So they've really thought of a lot of things. I guess over time they've learned through experience. On the driver's side, the handbrake is here. And of course, they'll have something to tell you that the brake is still engaged if you're like me and occasionally forget to do that. This apparently will open the hood. The gas tank is here, and you just open it this way. At first I thought it was like some of the other trucks, whereby you have to open the driver's side door in order to open this, but this opens from the right to left, and it's always available. And of course this takes regular gas, and of course unleaded. Let's see, there was something else I wanted to show you. There's a storage bin down here as well, so that if you need to shove some things under the seat, you have this tray here to do that. And one other thing that I missed out on, I had brought my USB device to play music, and I thought that this USB port up here was the one to use, but that is only a charging port. This is the USB port that works with the radio. So I missed all of my Western tunes as I was cruising across the desert, because I didn't fully familiarize myself with the vehicle before leaving. What about the garage? The right side door opens first, and then this little latch opens this side. And these doors open all the way like this on both sides. So there's plenty of room to get in. Now I had all my camping gear in the garage. What you see back here is the power center for the auxiliary battery. And that's something you don't have to deal with. It's showing 14.4 volts, so it is fully charged, and it's probably enjoying the sunlight now through the solar panel. Plenty of space back here. You could even throw your bicycles back here. And again, standard without paying extra, camp chairs and an outside table are stowed in this area. And if you have tons of camping junk, they have a hitch here. And you can rent a bicycle rack to put in the hitch there. Now this van is supposed to be able to pull, I think, about 4,000 or 5,000 pounds, but with that engine, you'd have a hard time going uphill. And this is the way it looks from the back. All those lights up there for brake lights and what have you, running lights. And there's the rumple bed label. Overall, working with this particular company was a breeze and a pleasure. Everyone was courteous. From the time the van was rented, you can do everything online. When I went in to pick up the vehicle, since I had done everything online, the insurance, fees, and I had chosen what extras I wanted, which were no extras, the van was ready. The young lady came out of the office and said, "You must be you." And I said, "Yep." And she said, "All I need is to see ID, and here's your key." And that was it. I did ask her about running some of the things which they'd be happy to do as well, but I really should have read the material so that I could have taken advantage of some of the other niceties of this particular vehicle. When you return the vehicle, you have to fill the gas tank. That's the only thing. They do all the cleanup because that's included in your rental fee. And speaking of gasoline mileage, I was trying to figure out what kind of MPG I got with all of the equipment that I had. All I can say is I drove from Lone Pine, California through Death Valley, and I made it all the way to Las Vegas on a half a tank of gas. So I think that was over 250 miles, 260 miles, half a tank. And that's pretty good. Also, one other trick that I learned along the way is closing this door, this sliding door. If you unhook it, and no matter how hard you slam it, the door won't be completely closed, and you will receive a message on the dashboard as to sliding door not closed. When you are closing the sliding glass door, have something open, either a window or the passenger door, because when you close that door, it compresses the air inside, and that works against you, so that you really can't completely shut that door. Watch what happens now. And listen to the sound. Ah, and you come back here, completely closed. So that's a little trick to remember if you're struggling to close the sliding glass door. I would certainly rent from Native Campervans again. And something I forgot earlier, the other reason why I like this particular company, this is all the markings on the van. Some of the van companies put all that paint on there that makes your van look like an eyesore with all the colors and slogans and all of that. So number one, you look silly. Number two, people know that you're renting a van. And with this particular van, you would not know, because this could be the logo of the company that converts the van. This is a review of the Dodge 1500 ProMaster cargo van, which has been converted into an RV. This is my first time renting an RV, and I learned a lot over the course of 1 week that I wanted to share. The company that rents these vans is called Native Campervans. The one thing about Native Campervans is that they give names to all of their vehicles, and this particular one is called Jackson, which is sort of cute.